So my name is Maike, and I study environmental science here at the university. And my background, or why I came to UST, I want to similarly answer this question. So the first time I went to China was actually after secondary school. And that time, first of all, I realized that in Beijing, the air may not be the best, and also the water has quite some problems. But besides this environmental situation, which I was interested in as well, I really fell in love with the people here and with the country. I really like Asia, and that's also why when I started my studies in Germany, I directly started learning Mandarin, and I went for exchange also to China. And after graduating, I also returned here to Hong Kong and started working here for 1 year. And during that time, I already decided that I want to do a PhD, and I was looking for, I had different criteria. And the most important one is, of course, that I wanted to find something that is related to atmospheric chemistry, and I wanted to find a good group and a good supervisor who is working on that field. And secondly, I really like Asia, and I really wanted to stay here. So I was looking in the major cities in Asia for topics and universities. And Hong Kong was one of the options. And the third criteria was I wanted to have a PhD that is self-supporting, so that I won't rely on any other financial support, and also that I have enough money to fly home at least once a year to see my family. And that is what made me stay in Hong Kong, because I found that here at UST I found a great supervisor. I got my scholarship here, and I had the chance to stay here in Asia to learn more Mandarin and to also get to know the culture better. So this is a picture of my group, and I had the way I got to know about my supervisor is I got a referral from a colleague in my previous company, which is a chemical company, and she was studying with the same supervisor, so she referred me to him, and I had an interview with him, and we really, from the beginning, we really matched, and he's a really nice person, and in terms of research, he's very supportive, but also gives a lot of freedom to work on what you want to work on and what you want to try. And besides that, he is really well connected. So he did his studies in the US at Caltech, and he still maintains a lot of these connections. So if his students want to go for an exchange, or want to go to conferences, or want to do projects with other groups in other parts of the world, then he will help to set that up. And for example, for me, I was cooperating on my first project with another group from the UK. And besides my supervisor, he is from Hong Kong. And here at the university, we have professors from either from Hong Kong or also from mainland of China, and a lot of international professors as well. So my professor, he is very open-minded, and I think here the professors, if you're not sure about how they are and whether you pick the right professor, you can contact the students in the groups and maybe find out a bit more on how the professors lead their students, how they support them, what they expect also in terms of working hours and these kind of things. So for me, I also got really lucky with my group. As you can see on the picture, my supervisor is the gentleman on the left, and the rest in my group, we are internationals, mainland Chinese and Hong Kongese. And I personally am really happy with my group. We meet every 1 or 2 weeks for group meetings, and I'm lucky to have a group which is really, really happy to discuss and to challenge each other. So it's really fruitful to discuss, and also they are really helpful. And this is something that I found in general also for technicians in the lab. People here are very helpful and very eager to help. And I think my group, it was also good that we have a bunch of mainland Chinese, so that I can practice my Mandarin a bit in the lab. And in terms of lab equipment, I think Eric has already mentioned that. I think it's very well equipped and lots of new techniques and established techniques. So that is something definitely, up to the standard or be above the standard already. And I quickly want to touch base a bit on differences between Hong Kong and Germany. So what I realized is that in Hong Kong you need to take classes, you need to get credits, whereas in Germany probably we would teach a bit more or give more tutorials, more maybe even lectures. Here it's I felt a bit more like a student. And besides that, what I also found a bit different is when I was looking for PhD positions in Germany, normally they would mention out a topic. And here I applied, and after I got into the group, I found my topic and I discussed with my supervisor. And I think that is like more common here, that you don't know the topic yet in the beginning. Another thing is that in terms of age, I think many of my colleagues, they are a bit younger than me because they didn't do a master's before they started their PhD, which is possible here, which is an advantage if you know that, then you can directly come after your bachelor and start your PhD here. And last but not least is another thing about financial security and flexibility. I think in terms of funding, I found it here quite flexible. So if I needed something, my supervisor was always saying, okay, just go ahead and purchase it. And also security-wise, now that I'm coming towards the end of my studies, and even if you're going beyond the time that is like the fixed time, most of the supervisors or all of the supervisors that I know of are supporting their students financially even after the time that the regular scholarship may expire or may be over. Yeah, and about the living experience here at UST, well, there are lots of activities organized, probably because I think I would describe it here, people are so work focused that the university is giving you funding so that you can do some activities. And in my department, what we did a lot is going for hiking or for cycling, kayaking, going to some of the outlying islands here in Hong Kong, which are really, really beautiful. And the department or the university can support these kind of activities. So if you come here and you have some great ideas about what to do, you can set up something and propose something and get funding for it. And another thing is also like some organizations that you can join. Like for me, for example, I was the facilitator for the German language group, for the language center, or I also joined the professional development group, which is organizing events, and you can be the moderate events or help organizing events such as like competitions and stuff like that. And if you can't find it on campus, I think Hong Kong is a really, really big city. In terms of population, it's twice as big as Berlin. So it's really impossible not to find people that have similar interests as you or who like to do the same things. So if you come here, I think it's impossible not to meet people to hang out with and to have fun with. Yeah.